Well, I've been called down here for an irrigation consultation to help the in-house crew find sprinkler heads that are engulfed in roots. Some of these appear to be ghost heads. They don't even exist. They don't pop up. They don't show much sign of any activity, but they are here. There's supposed to be 6 heads in this bed, 6 center heads. This one's a flood irrigation style. It's not popping through, it's just flooding down low. There should be one somewhere, but this is completely dry. It's down here, but we're gonna have to find it. Same thing here, this is a flood irrigation style. It's down below the surface, just flooding the area, keeping it green. Same thing there, flooding. And one head at the very end is popping up. One head out of 6 actually pops up to this whole island. So let's see if we can correct this. There's a high spot that's visible right here in the center area. Usually the high spot is where the head is because the roots have congregated there over the years. So it'll start to elevate the soil. Well, I want to get you a few action shots, but I'm the only one here. Maintenance crew's not here today. So that means yours truly is going to have to do it. I'm going to start by flagging exactly where I think the head should be, and then painting a circle where I'm going to dig out. Well, here's what we're thinking. We're going to dig out that circle right there. That's about a 2-foot circle. I brought a few examples to show you what we're up against. Old head, locked in roots. This is a good 10 years old. You can see it never makes it through. It'll never poke through this root mass. It is 100% locked in there. Here's another little guy. You can see how the roots just completely circle the heads. And this one's so old the roots are all decomposing. But that's what you're up against. Is a lifetime mat of roots. That's going to be the same way. It looks like it's still good, but it is not good. Well, we are way the heck down on in here, and this thing shows no signs of budging. None at all. I'm prying as hard as I can on this thing. I'm using the double shovel method too. And all I'm doing is bowing the shovel. It doesn't want to budge at all. It is locked in there. And I'm down there pretty good. I'm down pretty deep on the spade. Let's see how far the spade is. Let's see what we got for a spade measurement here. It's a 16-inch spade, so we're down there at least 12 inches, and it is still locked in solid. It's going to take another hour of chopping. Well, I've made some progress. It's still in there, hard as a rock. You just want to believe how solid it still is. Get a couple side dig out spots so you can clean out your trench 360 degrees around this guy. That's the 16-inch spade shovel right there. It's buried at full depth, 360 degrees, except right there. That's the only spot I couldn't penetrate. It's solid wood right there. I'll break 10 shovels before I pry this out with a shovel. But I got the pry bar. Our best bet is to try to loosen it up and break some roots with the pry bar now. And hopefully the sprinkler head will either break off or is already broken off. Kind of like this one. It'll either pull out of the threads. That head is so locked in there. and likely the flex pipe and everything is locked in there, so it'll probably break right off. Let's see if we can pry this out with the pry bar. Well, I got the spade buried in there to full depth. It's 2 or 3 inches past surface level, so we're 18 inches plus. I bet you we can pry it out with the pry bar now. It's not ready. It's nowhere close to ready. I found a piece of flex pipe. There's evidence there's a head here. See if I can get you close. It's full of roots. It's completely full of roots. So this head hasn't worked in years. This head is completely obstructed. We are so close, folks. We are so close. Come on. Come on. Come on. Anything in there? Oh my God, help me, Jesus. I hope you're praying for me. I hope you're praying. This might be a job for the loppers. Pray for me. Ta-da! And there you have it. There you have it, folks. Again, you gotta be King Arthur to pull that head out. That head, oh my God, 50 pounds of roots, and that head won't come out. There you have it. It's that easy. If I can do it, you can do it. Oh man. It was installed semi-correctly. This should have been a barbed elbow instead of a barbed adapter. You can see the roots. This thing's been growing roots for many years. That thing's all roots. Rutabaker. Look at that. Solid roots. Well, now we got to clean out the rest of these roots. Get us down to clean funny pipe, couple back on, re-establish a head, and re-establish grade with topsoil. Well, we got the soil opened up, we got some roots cut back, we got the funny pipe exposed. Here's what I found when I got down there. A little length of funny pipe, a coupler, and it's completely full of roots. You can see the coupler on the right, full of roots on the left. I'm going to try to fish it out with a little hook. Well, we turned on the water and no water came out. Tiny bit of water flooded out from underground from here because that head is the same situation. It's buried down in there. But no water came out from here. When we look at this old head real close, that soil's packed in there. This guy's been separated a long time. So this head hasn't worked in, I would say, at least 10 years. Here's how much roots you gotta chop through. We got to get through 16 to 18 inches of roots before you get down there. And I mean solid roots. Well, here's what we're supposed to have. 6 heads, and here's what we do have. 1 head, no head, no head, not even any water, green spot, and no head. So we got some more work to do. Well, here's the latest. We had to do some more digging. Here's what we found. We found the PVC. We found the funny pipe adapter. Here's how the funny pipe was set up. Coming right off the PVC, into the coupler, into another section of funny pipe, into the head, into the root ball. Completely blocked with roots. 100% root block. The roots were creasing the pipe real bad right there, right out of the fitting. This fitting's been broke for years, so it's been broken all the way here to PVC for years before it ever even reached that core head. We're going to have to cut the PVC back a foot and glue on a whole new assembly. There's what we found when we cut the pipe. It's completely full of roots. I don't think you could be much more full of roots than that right there. That's completely packed with roots. I would say that qualifies for 100% obstructed. How about some of that? Well, here's what I fished out. That's the saw cut right there. And then fished out at least a foot of chunk. We're probably going to need to flush that before we put on any fittings. Any fitting is only going to obstruct it even worse. The hook's something big down here. It's hard. It's coming though. Come on. Come on. Come on, baby. Big old root. Big old full root. It's like a sea monster, folks. Oh my God. Oh my God. It's 3 feet long. 4 feet long. Ta-da. Well, here's how it came out. Starting up here at the funny pipe, that's where the roots started. Roots through the pipe. We cut the pipe, we pulled that section of root out. Then here's the big one we hooked. We pulled this entire thing out. It's like 5 feet long. That entire thing came out of the PVC pipe. It's perfect PVC pipe shape. Entire length. 7 feet. 7 feet of roots came out of this thing. That whole sea serpent, big old long turd snake came out of that pipe. And you wonder why no water was getting to that poor head. That poor head. Well, there it is, all finished up. Flex pipe's got a real nice natural lay. Head sits real nice. Everything sits real nice, real natural. A lot better than that poor thing did. And we only had to dig through 24 inches of solid roots. That's nothing, right? Well, we're leaving with a big pile of roots, a sprinkler core, and a 5-foot turd snake. Well, here's what we dug up. The straight adapter into the funny pipe looks just like this. Straight adapter into the PVC fitting, into the PVC pipe, down the funny pipe, into the head. What happens here is, as the roots grow, you can see the deformation. As this root grows underneath, it will lift and push and break this fitting. It'll break this fitting right here. The superior method is the double 90. PVC 90, barb 90, and then same thing down here, barb 90, street L 90. As this root grows and pushes on the flex pipe, it allows for some forgiveness. It allows it to spin on the threads a little. And that pivot motion is a lot better than this. This will snap every time. This allows a little pivoting. So this is indeed a superior setup. When you run your barbed L straight into the head from the flex pipe, you'll find it breaks prematurely. As roots lock things down and roots grab onto the head, growth causes flexing and expansion, and it'll snap that every time. When you have the double 90, you have a little bit of forgiveness for changes in the environment. This is a different head, but let's take a look at this busted barb 90. The head is completely full of roots. Solid too. It won't go back in because it's so full of roots. Well, they indeed took my advice and dug nice big circles out and found every head. And they were tired. But that's what it took to get down to the head and do a proper repair job. Some of this is just solid root. It's solid wood. This needs to go to the burn pile. This can't be reused. The head wasn't even making it through. This head's installed correctly. It has the street L and the barbed elbow. That's correct. But most of them were installed incorrectly. This one over here had been serviced at some point in its life, but it never had a street L. It only had a barbed L, and they always break when it's just a barbed L. This thing's so rooted in, you'd have to be King Arthur to pull it out. There's no way that head's coming out of there. It's a permanent addition. See if we can pull this one out here. We don't even have a nozzle. This thing's just down here flood irrigating. Solid roots. You couldn't even stick a screwdriver through that. Nothing's getting through there. It's solid wood. There's still about 3 to 4 inches to go before it even makes it to the surface. Solid wood down there and no nozzle. The heads have been replaced. Topsoil was provided and the lawn is recovering. That's quite a feat in itself just to replace the heads, but it can be taken a step farther. This bed is utilizing the center strip nozzle. Great nozzle. Emits from that side and that side. It's intended to cover a bed that's 4 feet wide, and it says a 15-foot spray left and right, but in reality it's more like 10 to 12 foot left and right. The issue I see is this is a 6-foot bed. This isn't a 4-foot bed. That means your 4-foot wide strip nozzle is going to leave a little bit of brown on the edges. If replacing the heads wasn't a feat enough, there is an improved layout that can be done. Utilizing the yellow flags, a side strip, a perimeter coverage can be done. Side strip, and then you would end with an end strip spraying out. The perimeter coverage layout would be superior to the center coverage layout. You would still use the same 6 heads. Right now there's 6 heads down the center. You would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that would indeed be an improved layout. Remember, it's a 2-hour job to replace one of these things. By the time you dig it out, replace it, replumb it, backfill it, reseed it, you're in it at least 2 hours ahead. 6 heads for this bed, there's 12 hours here, easy. And that's 12 hours of hard work. Don't expect your guy to be worth much after a few of these heads. 2 of these heads will pretty much wear a guy out for the day.